I be confused, man. I don't know what it is. Got Yanni, got Chance the Rapper, quoting radical black feminist bell hooks. Ah, man. 1 minute black men are weak, broken, dusty at the bottom of the totem pole, lack patriarchal skills. The next minute, we want to be white men and we got our boots on a black woman's neck. Like, I don't understand it, man. Help me. Help me. But let's talk about it. How can black men be the oppressed and the oppressor? All right, so I don't know why, but today this quote by Bell Hooks is being shared all over the webs. Real talk with Yanni, the Burning Cape chick. That's funny how when I want to find her videos, I just type in Burning Cape. I don't even remember her name, but she posted this and got the little praying hands up and clapping. White women and black men have it both ways. They can act as oppressor or be oppressed. Black men may be victimized by racism, but sexism allows them to act as if act exploiters and oppressors of women. White women may be victimized by sexism, but racism enables them to act as exploiters and oppressors of black people. Both groups have led liberation movements that favor their interests and support the continued oppression of other groups. Black male sexism has undermined struggles to eradicate racism, just as white female racism undermines feminism. Feminists, huh? Feminists is that shit? Is their shit? Is belong? Struggles, as long as these two groups or any group defines liberation as gaining social equality with the ruling class of white men, they have a vested interest in the continued exploitation and oppression of others. Yanni, just to keep it in context, because okay, I get why, I'll get to Chance the Rapper with his very handsome wife. I'll get to that, but Yanni, how you say the name? She's supposed to be the level up, burn a cape, get your money, get your bag, traditional hypergamous femininity woman. But why is she quoting a radical black feminist Bell Hooks who does not subscribe to any of those things? Make that shit make sense to me. Like, I get why Shea Butter Twitter, as they call it, and all the other folks are going to be sharing this. But why are the so-called traditional, structured, family-valued women participating in this when they don't want what Bell Hooks wants? Why are they sharing this when they want black men to achieve to give them the same things that white men give white women and white children? Make that shit make sense. Huh? And it goes to show you that they want the benefits of a patriarchal structure, but they don't want any of the flip side that comes with that. And that toothpaste is not going back in the tube, regardless of how many people are online still talking about the black community. It needs to be a patriarchy. I think some elements of it and some parts of us need to be. But as a collective, that shit is not happening because the same black women who complain about the lack of it also accuse black men, the bad parts only, right? They only pick and choose the bad parts, right? They'll pick hip hop or a lane and they'll see they don't have access or opportunities in it, and then they'll say evil black male patriarchy. But those black men are in a position to give their families the same thing that the white men give their wives and children because they do that, right? But I don't get that. Help me out with that. Why would the camp, right? Because there's different camps that believe different things, right? We, at least the black men online, can acknowledge that there's different people. The black women don't do that. They just put all black men in the same boat and say we're all saying the same things. We all know as men that all black men don't want traditional soft feminine women. We know that there are some black men who are liberal, feminist, anti-traditional family structures. We know that. We can examine and pinpoint and say, oh, that's that camp over there. That's that camp right here. Sisters don't have that level of intellect to do that, I guess, because they don't. They just generalize. We, on the other hand, know there's camps, but even though there's different camps, they all sound the same. When you got the so-called traditional wanting women saying that black men want to be like white men, but y'all want black men to give y'all the things that white men give white women. That's what half these hypergamous, level up, fake hypergamy channels are about. Make that shit make sense. I don't know. Chance is just same thing. He's been on this path. I did my video of what I thought about No Name. I'll upload that. I didn't really care about the situation, but I was bothered by the fact that this man J. Cole simply said, "Yo, I'm ignorant. Teach me," and it turned into a gender war, and it turned into evil. It turned to evil black male patriarchy because the man said, "Yo, stop criticizing me. Stop attacking us. Teach us." Like, one minute I complain that black men won't admit when they need help, and he's telling you, like, teach me, I need it. Don't attack me, help me. And it turned into a whole bunch of nonsense. That video will be getting uploaded too. But I'm like, I get why the shape of the Twitter crowd, feminists, Chance is a little moist ass liberal, and I get why he might be sharing this stuff. The level up fake hyper-gamy chicks, I don't get why they're on the bandwagon. Now, I will say this, that I remember, you can judge me because I did watch like a season or two of Grey's Anatomy, and I remember that the storyline with the black doctor who ran the hospital, and then the chick who the show's about, Grey's, her mom cheated, and it was showing you, there was this one scene where it was like when they did a flashback when it was like AIDS, and they were showing you how at the same time black men were fighting for their progress, allegedly so were white women, right? And it showed you how like they were the first two who took on an AIDS patient's case when it came out in the 80s because nobody else wanted to deal with it. And, so they took it as, being the bottom of the barrel on a totem pole. And that did, highlight something, that black men were fighting for their freedom, life, and all that other stuff at the same time, allegedly, that white women were. White women just wanted white men to share what they've conquered and killed. Black men were just fighting for their civil rights in their life. Whereas white women just wanted, you, Mr. White man, you got to share with us and give us some of that access to some of the stuff you raped and pillaged, right? And then black women weren't in that space. And I get that part. I understand that part. I also will say that I think that, this experiment of America, only 500 years old, it's new. No other place in the world has these type of experiments. There's a lot of self-correction that needs to be done. But we can be honest and say that on an individual level, not as a collective, that in black men trying to figure out their own shit, no, I don't think that's always going to be beneficial to the black woman as a collective level. It may be beneficial to him and his family as an individual, but on collective level, I get that. There are some things that we might believe in and want that black women don't, and vice versa, and that's understandable, right? I said it again, if there was a political party and they were focusing on child support and divorce and all that stuff, you think that black women are going to join the arms of black men and help fight for black men to get equal custody, fight to make sure that child support is put on the card and everything is, accounted for and is only can be used for things for the children. Like, there are some issues and some things absolutely we're going to be at odds with and we're not going to agree on. But I don't understand this thing where black men are made to be, on one hand, broken, dusty, don't have no power on the bottom of the totem pole, can't do nothing for us, didn't build us this, didn't build us that. At the same time, we're denying you access to opportunities. We're putting our foots on your necks. And it's that. Now, when it comes to hip-hop, because that's the examples that a lot of them use, they'll use hip-hop and music. And again, when certain people get into the system, I think that men keep what you kill. Like, that's just the way of life. When you build it and design it and own it, it's yours. So, of course, when I see black men putting in women that they desire, what they want, the reality is men promote what they want to see. They're going to promote what they want to see, not what women want to see, what they want to see. Now, white women have been doing it long enough to where they can promote what women want to see and get paid on both ends. Black men ain't there yet. The problem isn't that with black men promoting what they want to see. The problem is that there aren't enough of black men who like what they want to see, what black women want to see as well. They're just not in a position of power to do it. That's how I look at it. And this is something that Thug Tisha pointed to. But like, out of all the elements in this world where black men have what seems like some power, right? The comedy, music, movie, entertainment. It's their first chance at, getting their ish off. And they're going to put on what they want to see. They're going to put on what they like, the content that they want to share. They're going to tell the story. They're going to be the hero or whatever they want. Women do the same shit though in their spaces. You go to Ebony Essence, hashtag Root articles, the Griot, Black Voices, all that. You name it. Black women, Zane books, them garbage hood booger books. They do the same thing in their content, so I don't understand why they act like this is a problem. Anybody who builds anything is going to dictate how it operates, how it looks. That's just life. So I don't think you can use that as an example, which is their go-to of, black men using their power, right? Remember, the Grapevine did a video about something about cultural appropriation or something. It was about that Becky with the booty and how Daniel Caesar defended her, and they were all attacking the black men in the industry about it. But I'm like, this is your example of oppression? Is that, they let this Becky do too much? Which, again, I agree they let her do too much, but it's their space, it's their lane. They control it. They can do what they want with it. Right? But I don't know, man. We go from being the oppressed and the oppressor. The irony thing is that if there's no conversation in 2020, if it's always going to be the evil black man and it's always his fault, I get it. Both black men and black women have issues. And I don't mind dealing with each issue at a time, saying, well, we're not talking about black women right now. We're talking about black men. I get it. All the Pookies and Ray Rays, all the murders and all the nonsense going on in the community, that all has to be addressed. One of my homies on Facebook posted something about, we got to address hip-hop and the danger and the damage that it's done. And it's ironically a bunch of black women pushing back against that. And he's caping Derek Jackson for them, talking about, well, they're calling women bitches and blah, 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 and this and that. He's putting on the cape for y'all, and 90% of the comments pushing back against that are black women. Saying, and I believe with freedom of speech. I believe with freedom of expression. Contrary to belief, Thought Crimes just said in one of their videos that white supremacists, that they should be teared down and taken away and moved from all platforms, and if they make their own platform, it should be shut down. No, I don't agree with that. I believe that people should be able to express themselves no matter what, even speech I disagree with. I think that the people who own the platforms can dictate whether or not you do that on their platform, but I'm not trying to shut nobody's shit down because I don't like what they got to say, because I don't want them doing that to me. But when it comes to hip-hop, which has not really had their Me Too movement yet, they getting in Russell Simmons' ass right now, pause, we're going to have to bring back Bambaataa, But, yeah, we can address some of the stuff we talked about in hip-hop. Yeah, we can critique the culture. If we wanted to succeed, and we want to be honest, we have to address it. I don't think it shouldn't exist, but we can critique it and talk about it and think, like, what did we do wrong back then? And what can we do now to change it, or how can we fix it? Absolutely agree with critiquing the culture. I just don't believe in censorship. But yeah, man. Every day we look up, think about that. This was tweeted by Chance Rapper, has a lot of influence. He did the no name bullshit. Now he's sharing this Bell Hooks tweet. And I'm just like, do black heterosexual men have any friends? Like, goddamn, like, we get it from the black men, the Steve Harvey, Hill Harper, Derek Jackson mofos. We get it from white media. We get it from black female targeted media. We get it from LBGT Billy Porter. Like, we just oppressing everybody while sitting at the bottom of the barrel, huh? Because I just don't get that. And I'm thinking this is not helping. Like, and what I was going to say before is, like, if we're critiquing the black community as a whole, right, we got to be honest about what some things are. I should post a clip into this video if it won't get messed up. But all this matriarchal shit. Boyce did a video about black love, and then you had Zaza in the trees hugger Ali talking about the black community was matriarchal. Then some dude who I'm assuming is a historian, he didn't do what everybody else does and says Africa as a whole continent. Like, which one? Which tribe? Who was matriarchal? Who had this matrimony leadership thing with women in charge? But he just cut like a chunk of Africa off. Big ass continent, but he cut a little chunk of it off, like maybe 5 or 6 different countries, and said, yeah, see this line right here? They was matriarchal and it worked for them. But we got to be honest about who we are. I'm not arguing against a structure of black people that black. I'm not gonna charge black men with for a lack of a structure that we don't even believe with the men or the women. By and large, there are elements, yes, but by and large we don't. And I'm saying that because the so-called traditional level up chicks, they sharing radical black feminist bullshit rhetoric, right? People will ask the question, why would that's what you see on the grapevine and all these liberal leftist spaces, is that black men want to be like white men and blah blah blah. Like, why not? What they're doing is working. Yeah, every other group of men are doing the same thing that are in power. What do you think if y'all ever could destroy the structure of white supremacy, blah blah blah, whatever's never gonna happen in America, because you don't have the money, the power, or the resources. And I'm gonna probably do a response to what Sincere said on her podcast about we need to infiltrate the Democratic Party and take over because the Republicans want to kill us. I'm like, oh my god. Black people can't infiltrate nothing. You're not going to anybody's house and rearranging the furniture. You saw what happened to Linda Solzar, Tamika Mallory, and Carmen Perez when they tried to do that to the White Women's March. They went up in there, tried to turn it around, make it about shit that the white women did not agree with. And what them white women do? They sabotage their own shit, right? By getting people to stop donating and stop supporting them. And then they say, you know what? We'll leave. You take this. We'll go build something new. That's what white people do. They're going to do that every single time. You're not infiltrating no institution that they don't want you to infiltrate. And to infiltrate, you have to go so deep undercover and not be who you are and not get things done. Because the moment you do, look at even AOC, right? Like, she not with the Three Amigos no more. She not with the tribe no more. Nancy Pelosi went from talking shit about her to now and co-signing her. How did that happen? She either went in that room and they told her to calm down and chill out. You have a future. You a bright star. Keep talking that brown people of color stuff, and one day you might be president. Like, they put a muzzle on AOC. She not with the other three women no more. She separates herself. She got the bag. She got all these endorsements. She, you know what I mean? Like, she up there right now. I'm just saying that they were articulating something not well that is easier said than done. But that's just my video. Explain to me how black men can be the oppressors and oppressed at the same time. I do agree that in reality, in this experiment, black men are learning and growing, and we figuring shit out. And in the process of figuring things out, it might not be in the best interest collectively with the black community at whole or black women. There's a lot of options for black men to do, whether it's just stay and invest and go here, hop the fence, leave the country. Like, there's a lot going on. I'll admit that it's not always going to be in the interest of a black woman. Likewise, black women are doing the same thing. And that's one thing too I wanted to look at, because remember when Obama did not policy, but it was charity, My Brother's Keeper. Remember how many black men, like, the media didn't even cover that. It was like 10,000 black men wrote letters to Obama like, don't you dare do My Brother's Keeper without including black women and girls. Don't you dare give, black men on the bottom of the barrel. This policy, this ain't even legislation. This is the most powerful man in the White House, in the country. Got a pen, all right? Remember he said, I got a pen when it was dealing with DACA and illegal immigrants, but he didn't use that pen to address black men and black boys, right? And he's up there like, well, we're going to do this little policy. This is a bunch of charity with corporations and stuff. We ain't going to do no real policy. And then you had to mess it up even more and dilute it by saying people of color, not just black boys, right? Even though there's already a commission in the Council for Women and Girls that he did that earlier in his career, right? Even though that's already there. And if that's not working, that would mean for you to go to the leadership and protest and say it's not being done the correct way. It's not being equitable and shared. Blah, blah, blah. They didn't do that. Y'all went and attacked Barry and said, how dare he give anything to black boys? But it was black men, educated black men, that led that charge. And then Rosario Dawson and all these fake ass, annoying ass celebrities wrote letters, Ava DuVernay, you name it, to cock block and say, nope, you need to include girls. A bullshit ass, pointless policy that don't got no substance, is all symbolism. And black men led the charge. When have you seen black women do that for black men? When black women are in HR positions and hiring, do they choose their race over their gender? Right? Are they even hiring their own black sons that are black men? Are the only group of men that are more unemployed than women? Are black women in these HR positions? Are they using their platform to hire, or do they join with white women, or join into womanism? Again, if we're going to critique the black community, we got to do it as a whole. Stop doing this blame shit as if we're not both accountable. The bullshit is bi-directional or unidirectional. There's enough shit on both sides. Don't act like black women don't use that white supremacist power structure, as you call it, to retaliate or to get black men to do what they want them to do. Whether it's using the court system against them, against their children, whether it's using that court system to call them and get them arrested and incarcerated. Don't act like y'all don't. It's enough bullshit blame to go around for both parties. And again, if we not coming at it from an angle like that, I reject it. And you're not going to hear any mainstream celebrity like Chance or anybody else do that. It's always going to be evil black man, what can we do to help black women? And never address the elephant in the room. Never address the fuck shit that they do too. And you're not going to get anything solved by doing that. Gender war that everybody says does not exist. It absolutely does. And you got celebrities, because it's profitable and it's popular to do so. Remember, you go, and I said this will be a video by itself, but when you listen to men like even Derrick Jackson or Steve Harvey or Charlemagne or D.L. Hughley, right? D.L. Hughley be sitting up here talking all types of shit about Trump and black voters who don't vote Democrat, and this man's daughter got raped by his friend and he didn't do shit about it. His illegitimate child that he was cheating on his wife with got killed by the boyfriend. He didn't do shit about it. He failed to protect 2 black children, yet he got the mitigated gall to sit up here and act self-righteous and on some type of a soapbox. Nigga, you failed as a man and a father and a husband. But you sit up here and critique black men. But why does he do what Chance is doing and all the other Hill Hopper, Derrick Jackson, Steve Harvey motherfuckers doing? Because it's too many black men in positions that they fucked up in their own lives. So they have to do this content the way they do. Charlemagne talks about, I've been with my wife 23 years, but I've only been faithful to 3 out of the 23 years. Like, men like that have to talk the way they talk and pander and do all that because they've messed up and they got to correct their own shit. You get a black man who's never oppressed, never hurt, never did anything, they can be critical and be honest about what they see because they ain't got nobody gonna bring up their past and say, oh, you did this. Let Charlemagne or D.L. Hughley have had a different opinion on some of these issues and how they addressed it in pop culture, they would kill them because they got a past of being disrespectful, being shitty, and derogative toward black women. I'm out.